What's up guys, Matt here, and today we have a valuable video for you. I'm going to be going over how to find your niche on the internet, how to make money on the internet, whether you're brand new and you're a beginner or you're advanced. I'll be telling you what's lucrative and what's not lucrative anymore. If you're very new, how to get going, how to start making money. If you're intermediate or advanced, how to start bringing in that big money and what you could still make a lot of money with, and what probably its heyday is over. So who am I? I got into business very young at the age of 15, and by about 17 I was making over $250,000 a year. Now I'm 22 and I have over $1 million, so I know my way definitely around the internet and how to make money. I've tried what's worked and what's failed. So to begin with, let's start with a case study of me. When I started internet business, I started at about 14 or 15 years old, and I didn't even do it for the money. I actually just didn't even know about the whole business side of the internet. I got into learning about the internet and how to make money because I really enjoyed the video game Call of Duty. So I watched a lot of people on YouTube posting their Call of Duty videos. So I just got a recording software and started recording my gameplay. I saw what other people were doing and I just started posting. So when I was that young, I didn't know anything about internet business. So that's why I was very lucky to begin with YouTube at such a young age, because YouTube actually taught me so much. When I first got into posting my Call of Duty videos, I didn't even know you can make money off it. I had a faint idea, but that wasn't my motivations whatsoever. But after I posted a couple videos and I started copying what other people were doing to get a lot of views, I was approached by a network, Machinima, and they said I could start making money with my videos, and that's really what ignited me. But what I would say is, if you are a beginner, this is a niche that is actually very useful to begin with, because if you're a beginner, you probably don't know much, whether you're very young or even if you're very old. I would totally recommend YouTube because it's not 2011, 2012 anymore. There's more YouTube, there's more money in YouTube now more than ever. So this idea is more of a slow approach to start making money online. It worked very well for me. And once you're making all these YouTube videos and you start making a little bit of money, you start learning your ways around the internet, and you get some ideas and you start learning from other people, and you learn many valuable skills which you need, which I would highly recommend to learn if you're going to get deep into making $250,000 a year on the internet, whether you're making 6 figures or 7 figures like a lot of the guys I see. Just getting into YouTube teaches you Photoshop, video editing, how to cross promote, just tons of random ideas which I would recommend to learn. But obviously that's a slower approach to start making money. But if you're young, that's what I recommend. If you want to start making money right away, I'll give you some more ideas, and that's in the next segment of this video. So just to give you a backstory of how my YouTube experience went, I started at the age of 14. You could go to my channel now. It's called Steel Nova. I'll link it in the description. But what I did is I started posting videos for fun. Then I got advertisements on my videos. It's much easier today, I believe, and I'll tell you about how to do that in the description. But after a couple videos in and I started getting going, I realized if I copied other people's videos, especially of other people's videos that went viral of past Call of Duties, because a new Call of Duty comes out every year, every time a new Call of Duty came out, I would just remake someone else's video, but title it with the brand new type of Call of Duty, and that would get me going viral very quickly. You could take this idea and take it and use it for other niches, whether it's other video games such as Fortnite. Every time there's a new season, you could do something similar as someone else's video, or you could just take someone else's video, add your own little twist to it, and that's a good way to get money and get the views going and then start things. So that's a very good idea if you're a very hardcore beginner. That's what I did. Now, if you aren't someone who wants to do this type of thing, say you want to start making money right now, right away, you got rent due this month and you want to start making money on the internet, I'll give you some more niche ideas right now. Now, if you're advanced, I'll get more into later in this video how you can start making the big bucks with what I know of what's very lucrative right now and what's probably done with, because I've been in probably over 30 niches in my 7 or 8 years in business. So I have a pretty good idea of where a lot of the big money is right now and what's probably burnt out. So if you are a beginner but you want to start making a lot of money right now, not a lot, but you've got to get the ball rolling and start making money right away, which is something I definitely do recommend. If you are a beginner, you don't want to take on something too huge, like say a dropshipping thing, or maybe your own social media marketing agency. That I would leave up if you're a little bit more advanced. Now the reason is I would only leave that up to once you get a little bit more advanced is because what I see with so many people that try to learn is that they try to work on these very complex things without having any really good knowledge of the internet or even motivation, because sometimes that takes a lot of time to really get going. They burn out very quickly. It takes them a long time to set something like that up, and they don't necessarily have all the experience they could have. Now, if you are a beginner and you're thinking you want to get really into making a lot of money on the internet, I recommend starting small. Find something where you could start making money right away using the internet, preferably social media, because you'll hone most of the skills you want to achieve, most of the skills you want to acquire. And once I give you some of these ideas to start making money right away, that'll continue the motivation. It'll be like a snowball effect. Once you start making money, you realize it's possible to actually make money on the internet. Not only make money, but make a very serious profit. Again, we're beginners, so we want to start small. We want to try to get you guys to about $20 to $30 to $40 to $50 a day. Maybe this can be a side thing from whatever your normal job is. But once you start realizing you could actually make very good money on the internet and you're a beginner, after a while you'll be much more skilled, and then you could focus on the big things like starting your own agency for social media, help promoting businesses, consulting, as well as a lot of the other niche ideas. Now, getting back to what I said before about dropshipping, why I see so many beginners try to get into that. Maybe they'll take a course or something like that. I think that's a good idea, but what I see so many people do is they take this course without any experience making money on the internet, and they burn out so fast because it takes them so long to really get going. And another thing with dropshipping is that a lot of people fail with that because you actually need some pretty good money with that to be successful, because it will take many attempts of testing if something is giving you a positive return on investment before it really works out. So I see so many people try just a couple times or even one or two times, which is sad, and it just doesn't work, so they give up because they don't have that prior motivation of working with the internet before to really know that they'll be able to successfully make money on the internet, as well as they don't have enough money really built up from previous internet enterprises to really bother to find the invest enough into their dropshipping business to eventually turn it successful. As well as if you start with these more beginner niches to get the ball rolling, you'll have a better idea with what works on the internet to really get rolling into those areas of the internet where you could eventually start and have a six-figure business making $100,000 to $200,000 a year, and hopefully you could snowball that into even bigger and bigger numbers, and eventually it's just making a lot of money and you have to do very little or just management, and that's where you eventually want to be. But we'll begin with these beginner ideas, whether it's YouTube or what I'm going to say right now is to just figure out ways to make money right away if that's what you're preferring or trying to do. Now, if you want to find your niche but start making money right away and you're a beginner, obviously making a little bit of money to start and then slowly grow that, so you gain motivation and you keep at it, what I recommend is looking at forums, and these are forums where they talk about money, how to make money, all these ideas, all these marketplaces on the internet. If you go and look at these forums, you could get a lot of genius ideas where you could weasel your way in a small niche and start making a lot of money, or at least a little bit of money guaranteed every single day right away. One of my favorite forums, I used to browse this forum for hours every single day when I was in middle school, is called Black Hat World. Now, that's a sketchy forum, but there's a lot of good stuff on it, but be very careful on that forum. There's a lot of scammers, a lot of sketchy things, but if you just check that out every day, your mind will really understand how the internet and how to make money works a little bit better on the internet. And I'll also link in the description some other forums you could check out if you want to start the research to discover your niche if you're a beginner, but while still making money every single day guaranteed. But let me tell you what you need to do. I'll just give you the straight truth right now. If you want to make money right now every day as a beginner without knowing barely anything, here's what you got to do. So what it is basically is flipping or farming. So you're either going to want to act as a middleman, selling things, reselling things, find someone who's selling something on the internet, such as a Twitter account. Maybe it's a big Twitter account or a small one. Smaller ones are easier to sell very quickly, or maybe it's something original, like an original username, like short original usernames on Twitter and Instagram sell for pretty good money. My username is engaging, and I have that on Twitter and Instagram. I actually bought that for only $40. I was planning on reselling it, but I actually liked that name so much that I decided to keep it. But for only $40 each, I've gotten offers of people trying to buy that for hundreds of dollars just over the years. So you could buy that kind of stuff, and I'll give you links on how to find that kind of stuff in the description. But you could buy that stuff and never even touch it, and people will come to you eventually to want to buy those handles. But of course, we want to get you into the community and making money every single day flipping things. That's just one idea. You could resell Instagram accounts. Of course, you don't need any money to invest. You could just be the middleman. You connect a seller and a buyer. And probably one of the most important things to be successful in flipping is that you need to be in the business online community. I'll link in the description how to get into that, but there's an entire pocket of people both on Twitter and on Instagram. There's a little overlap, but these are different people generally, and these are entire business communities that do business on the social media community. Half these guys are people who own large social media accounts with hundreds or thousands of followers, and they all stay connected. They're all following each other. So once you find one guy in this pocket of people, all you need to do is follow the people they are following or the people following them, and suddenly you're connected in this huge community of people. You could work with these other people, collab, you could talk and network, and suddenly you're finding out ideas and ways to partner with people to make other ways of money. But of course, if you're a beginner, you need some skills. So this is a way to get your foot in the doors, middlemaning, buying and selling. Obviously, it'll be much quicker to find people daily to buy certain things which you see other people selling if you're in the community. But what I've personally done back in the day is I would find an account that someone was selling for $3,000. For example, that one guy was selling, he had a Twitter account with 250,000 followers. He was selling that for $3,000. I found somebody who was in my city who bought it for $4,000. So I made a quick $1,000 off that. Obviously, that's a lot more money, but so you could get into selling smaller accounts and make much more money quicker per day. It's a little bit more work, and hopefully here and there you find the lucky big account to middleman. But that's just one idea of being a middleman and flipping things in the social media community to start making money right away as a beginner. And of course, once you get into these other forums, you could see tons of other things that people are flipping. You could flip pretty much anything these days. I even see people making a lot of money buying and reselling Fortnite accounts. You don't have to own it. You could just connect a buyer and a seller. But there's people reselling and middlemaning tons of things. It's insane to see. Now, the other niche idea I mentioned before is farming. Now, this is a way to start making money as a beginner right away. I'll put it in the description, the exact details, but I'll tell you the rough idea of it, concept right now, is you could basically very easily farm social media accounts, and people buy these very, very easily. So you could farm an Instagram or a Twitter account, or both at the same time, or multiple at the same time, and just grow them to 5 or 6 or 7,000 followers. It's very easy to farm such accounts. You just have to mass follow. Every 1,000 people you follow, on average, about 25% follow back. So if you follow 1,000 people, you'll get 250 followers. You could automate this entire process, and I'll link in the description how, but you could just automate farming of many, many accounts, and then once you get into the business community of Twitter and Instagram, it's very easy to resell these accounts. You could also go to many forums across the internet. If you're good at Google or you're not good at Google, just learn how to use Google, and you could find many of the forums out there in order to resell accounts. You could also use Black Hat World, and I've actually personally bought many accounts from other farmers just because I'm too lazy to do it. People buy accounts for many reasons, whether to rebrand it in their own business page or their own personal page and have a lot of followers. There's many, many reasons. Again, you would just have an account that's either a meme page, it posts funny memes, it could post anything that people enjoy, and people will naturally follow it. That's all you really have to do, and then you have it mass follow using automation tools. You know, you don't want to manually do that. That would take up too much of your time. It's not worth your time. Automating is something you should very much get into, and that's something that you could start learning about on the internet as a beginner, and then soon enough you'll be much more skilled at the internet, and then from there we can get into the much more lucrative, much more bigger niches where a lot more money is, to start making the big bucks, 6 to 7 figures a year, which is what we eventually want to strive for once you move from a beginner to intermediate to much more advanced level. But you got to get your foot in the door. I absolutely recommend getting your foot in the door by starting to make a little bit of money every day. That builds the snowball effect, so you gain in motivation, and then you could much more easily move to the big niches, make a lot of money, and do it with a much more ease, and you won't burn out because you have it proven to you how to make money on the internet, as well as you understand a lot more ways of how to successfully actually achieve something that's a bigger niche, such as dropshipping or starting your own social media marketing agency. Now, those are just a couple niche ideas for beginners. You're on the right path by watching this video. I'll be posting tons of videos of how I've made money in the past. I've probably been in over 40 niches. So if you just watch everything that I've learned throughout the years, it'll show you and it'll rewire your brain of how to make money on the internet. I'll teach you what I've learned so you don't have to relearn a lesson, or you could learn from my mistakes. As well as very soon I'll be dropping a full series of how to make 6 figures a year, over $100,000 per year, very straightforward, using automation tools to promote through affiliate marketing or even drop shipping. But I'm gonna teach you it in such a way that there's no luck involved and there's very little skill. It's gonna be very straightforward. Any dummy can do it. I'm gonna teach you how to just guaranteed make money using simple automation, because automation is all mathematics, and I use automation programs that are very simple to use. I dropped out of college. I learned this all just from tons of reading on the internet. And once you just have the basic steps down, my course that I eventually drop will have it all spelt out very straightforward. So subscribe for more, guys. I'm going to be giving so much free value on my videos. And this was actually my first video ever, hence all the cuts. So I really hope you enjoyed. Eventually I'll be getting better and better at this, and I'm planning to be dropping a new video every single day. So let's see how far we go, guys. I really look forward to the future of this channel, and I look forward to making you guys as much money as possible and eventually meeting up and throwing some parties together, because we're all making so much together. That's the plan, guys. I appreciate it so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe and make sure you turn on those notifications. That's so incredibly important. Ring that damn bell. And that's it for this video, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and have a good one.